Yahweh by Shimi Hawashai, by this brother Obadiah. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. And shout outs to the sister Mary of Bethany in Mark 14 that anointed our king with the precious ointment. And also shout out to our ancestors um, that lost their lives keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. They wasn't willing to compromise. They wasn't willing to bow down to the beast system. They was willing to die, instead. So shout out to them. Pray we always remember them, right? So before I get into this lesson, because I'm gonna touch on 4th of July because the day is the 4th of July, man. We just had Juneteenth, but our people celebrate. It's supposed to be the day that we was free from chains. Now today we got July 4th. So I'm gonna touch on July 4th just for a little bit and get a couple scriptures, and I'm gonna close out. Before I get into it, let me blow my shofar real quick. All praise to the Most High, man. Yeah, no. So everybody know the 4th of July. Everybody know about the 4th. People barbecuing, popping fireworks, and just coming together as a family, right? But is this something that the Most High God want us to be celebrating, right? Is the 4th of July something that God ordained us to celebrate? Where do the 4th of July come from? Why do so-called Black and Hispanic people celebrate the 4th of July? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves, man. Because when you look into the 4th of July, right, that was when America got their Declaration of Independence, right? In 1776 is when they came up with the holiday, right? In 1776 is when they came up with the holiday. So you have to ask yourself, when you go back in time to 1776, what were so-called Black people doing during the time of 1776? Is this a day for us to celebrate? Who independence are they talking about? Right? Just like in the Constitution when it says all men was created equal. Was this including so-called Black people? No. Because what were we doing back in those times? We were slaves. The slave master didn't think that he was equal to the slave. The slave master always looked at himself above the slave. So when you celebrate 4th of July, you're celebrating a day that have nothing to do with your people, man. And then, I ain't gonna speak too much. Let me get a precept. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 22. It says, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? So this is in Proverbs. The scripture saying like, and when brothers go out and teach, we see a lot of stuff when we go out there to the highways and byways, when we go out to the hood and teach, when we go out in front of the corner stores and teach, we see a lot of stuff. We see a lot of our people doing things, and we question, like, how long are we going to love simplicity? How long are we going to love to do, like, crazy stuff? How long are we going to love the fight? Like, and it's so crazy because we in 2025, right? A lot of our people know the truth. A lot of stuff that we be saying, a lot of our people already be knowing this. They know the truth about 4th of July. They know that 4th of July had nothing to do with Black people. They understand this, but why? But why would you continue to pop fireworks, man? Why would you continue to celebrate a day that have nothing to do, with your people? Your people was actually in slavery around the time of. You gotta think about it like this. you have two things going on. You have a group of people during the time of 1776. You have a group of people. And I smell food right now. Somebody grilling right now. I think down there. People already grilling. They were popping fireworks yesterday. It wasn't even July 4th. It was July 3rd. They people popping fireworks already. So but two things was going on, right? You had one people during the time of 1776 that was, celebrating, getting drunk, getting married, dancing because they just signed their Declaration of Independence. Meanwhile, you got another group of people that's in the cottage, right? In the cottage, they shaking because it's probably cold. They bundled up together trying to stay warm, right? So it's like, this is not a day for everybody, right? It's not a day for everybody. And the Bible said, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? How long are you going to be simple and continue to pop fireworks knowing this have nothing to do with your people, right? How long are you going to be simple and continue to grill? How long are you going to be simple to continue to celebrate Juneteenth and then turn around and celebrate 4th of July? That's simple, right? That's the simplest thing I done heard and seen in my life. Us as so-called black people, we celebrate Juneteenth, the day that we was freed off chains, right? Freed from chains. Then the next month, we celebrate July 4th, the day that we was in chains. You see that don't make sense, man. And it goes back into how long were you simple ones where you love simplicity, like the Most High said. We gotta stop. We love simple stuff, man. We love rolling up backwoods. We love getting cars and doing donuts all day and spinning out, right? We love the when it's 4th of July and when the fireworks are shooting. We love to shoot our guns up in the sky, while the fireworks are being shot. It's just all type of simple stuff, man. Um, and when you get Jeremiah 10:2, he said, thus says the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? So the Most High, he said in Jeremiah 10, don't learn the way of the heathens, right? Don't learn the customs of the heathens and don't celebrate whatever they doing, don't do it. So when you think about the 4th of July, right? When you get into the 4th of July, remember, this was established in 1776. We came over here in so-called 1619. So we was over here way before the Declaration of Independence or the 4th of July when it was established. We was over here before that. So it's like we wasn't celebrating this. We learned this from who? The heathen, right? So and they it's so crazy because when it comes to Juneteenth, right? Even Juneteenth is a slap in our face. A lot of our people, they say I don't celebrate the 4th of July, I celebrate Juneteenth. But Juneteenth, even in itself, is a slap in our face because, they giving us a day that we free. But you got to truly think, like, they in their mind, they're thinking like, okay, we let's just give these Negroes a day. We're gonna give these Negroes a day that they was free, but they gonna know that we had them in chains though. Right, they gonna know that we had them in chains. We're gonna just give them let's just give them a day. But you notice we go hard for July. The other nations, right, when it comes to Juneteenth, we the only ones really going hard for Juneteenth. The other nations, they don't barbecue, right? They don't shoot fireworks. They don't. It's just a regular day to them. Like, okay, Juneteenth, all right, whatever. But when it comes to the 4th of July, our own people turn for their holiday for the 4th of July, but they not turned for our so-called holiday Juneteenth. See what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. We just love to party. We party for Juneteenth, then we turn around and party for July 4th. But the heathen ain't partying for Juneteenth. The heathen, they're not partying for Juneteenth. But when that 4th of July come, best believe you're gonna see them with them fireworks. Best believe you're gonna see them with they Make America Great Again hats and their American flag shirts, Proud American shirts, all that type of stuff, man. All of it is madness. But that's why Jeremiah said, don't learn the way of the heathen. The Most High gave us days, right? He gave us our holy days for us to celebrate, man. Right? Don't be a coon and celebrate the 4th of July, because all it is being a coon, man. You celebrating the day. This have nothing. This is like you going to a party. This is like somebody's so-called birthday party, right? Somebody's so-called birthday party going on, and you just show up to the party. They ain't looking at you like, who is he? Who is he? He not part of the family. I ain't never seen Buddy before. Why is he over here? They gonna be looking at you crazy like, what is he doing? It's the same thing when we celebrate the 4th of July. You're celebrating a day that has nothing to do with your people. It's like people that know is looking like this Negro crazy. Damn, she crazy. She bugged out. This don't have nothing to do with their people. Why y'all celebrate? Back in 1776, if you was so-called black, right, and you tried to go and celebrate the 4th of July with those so-called white people that was doing the Declaration of Independence, whatever, and you trying to go celebrate them, would they be like, okay, yeah, come on, come on? No, they gonna probably kill you or send you back to the college and ask like, what is you doing here? You know, it ain't nothing new, man. The time people tend to forget. It's just cause we in 2025, man, and you know people tend to forget. You know that they tend to forget things. They tend to forget the things that happened throughout history. That's why people do what they do. They be ignorant to the times of history. Why? Because we taught to forget about the past. This is why. We taught to forget about the past. A lot of people know about the 4th of July. A lot of our people know about the 4th of July and the history behind it, but a lot of our people still don't. Why? Because they forgot about the past. That's why David said, remember, oh Lord, the children of Edom. David saying, hey, remember them, man. Right? I remember what they did. Raise it. Right? I remember what they did, man. Hosea 4:6, it says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Right, so the Bible said, Hosea 4:6, that's the golden, one of my favorite, well, one of my go-to scriptures, right? It's he said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? So it's like when you turn around and look at our people, I'm gonna say this again. You celebrate Juneteenth, the day that we was freed from chains, then turn around and celebrate the 4th of July, the day that your people was in chains. Like, make that make sense, bro. You can't make it make sense. Because what he said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We know how to celebrate Christmas. We know how to celebrate Thanksgiving. We know how to celebrate Easter. We know how to celebrate Valentine's Day. But when it comes to the days that the Heavenly Father gave his people, the Israelites, us to celebrate, we don't know about Passover. We don't know about Feast of Unleavened Bread. We don't know about Pentecost. We don't know about Day of Atonement, right? We don't know about Feast of Tabernacles. We don't know about these things, man. We don't know about the new moons. People just look at the moon, and it's a regular day, right? It be the Passover, and people just in the world just be going around just acting like it's a regular day. We don't know the days that the Most High God gave us, but we know the days that the heathen gave us. That's why Jeremiah telling you, bro, don't learn the way of the heathens, man. Let go of their customs. A lot of people gonna die, right? When you read the scriptures, the Bible speak on it's gonna be a lot of death. It's gonna be a lot of death in that day, because the blind is following the blind. People are doing what the heathens are. The heathens are basically set the tone for America, around the whole world. The heathens set the tone around the whole world. So a lot of our people took on the customs of the heathen, just like during the time of the Greeks. During the time of the Greeks, our people took on the customs of the Greeks and started living like Greeks. So it's nothing new now. Our people forsook and forgot about the Most High God, laws, statutes, and commandments, and they said, no, we finna start living like Americans now. Let's go over there and start living like Americans and talk how they talk and dress how they dress and keep their holidays and all that type of stuff. We're gonna forget about the laws and commandments that our God gave us, but let's start keeping the customs of the heathen. And the Lord went boom popping. There's nothing wrong with popping fireworks, but on the 4th of July though, you see what I'm saying? People do it. It's a custom on the 4th of July to pop fireworks and red, white, and blue and all that, man. You can pop fireworks if you want to. When it's the new moon or any other high holy day, you can pop fireworks then, right? Fireworks are not just for the 4th of July, right? It was made as a big custom for the 4th of July, but you can, if you like fireworks so much, you don't gotta pop them on the 4th of July on a pagan day, right? You can pop fireworks on our days, man. There ain't no law that say you can't pop fireworks. This Jeremiah 4:22, he said, my people is foolish. They have not known me. So the Bible said, my people is foolish. They have not known me. This is what Isaiah 1:3 said, the The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel don't know. My people don't even consider. So like Israel, we don't even consider who our owner is. Like we don't consider that who our God is. That's why he said, my people is foolish, they have not known me. And a lot of our people think they know the Most High. They think they got a personal relationship with the Most High. Right? They think that he talked to them only. But it's like, no, our people don't know him. He said, John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. Right? If you love the Most High, you're going to keep his commandments. 1 John 2:3-4, right? He said, any man that says he knoweth me and keep not my commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So if you saying that you love the Most High and you don't keep his commandments, the truth ain't in you. It's lip service. You just saying these things. A lot of our people just say things. I love God, right? A lot of our people just talk. I know the truth about July 4th. I know we was in slavery. I know it had nothing to do with us. But then still, you know this. But you still turn around and grill with your red, white, and blue shirt on. It says, they are Sodom's children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Right? The Bible saying the Israelites, man, they wise to do evil. Our people, when it comes to doing evil, we are a chosen people, man. When it comes to doing evil, we best at doing the craziest stuff. Like we the best at doing evil stuff. But when it comes to doing good and pleasing the Most High, now we scratching our head. Now we like trying to figure out, dang, I don't know. What's the 10 Commandments? I don't know. When is Sabbath day? I don't know. Right? What's the Passover? I don't know. But when it comes to scamming, when it comes to finessing, right? When it comes to rolling up a blunt the best way, right? When it comes to just doing all type of foolishness, rapping about killing, robbing, stealing, we're the best at that. We quit to run to do evil. We quit to run to do mischief, right? That's why so many times Solomon was saying, bro, don't be quick to run to mischief. Flee from wickedness, flee from sin. He knew this, man. So it's like a lot of our people, we so quick to do evil. We seeing people popping fireworks. Let's go pop fireworks. We see people having a party and don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on, but we see they partying. Let's go over there and party, right? Celebrating a day that you don't know the history about, a pagan day that you don't know the history about, but you still partying and drinking. You ready for the day? It's crazy, man. You know, so the Most High God, you know, as us as so-called Israelites, especially so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we should not be celebrating the 4th of July. It had nothing to do with us, man. Right? It has zero. It don't matter what people say now. We talking about when it was established, right? The beginning of this day had nothing to do with us, and it didn't change, man. It had nothing. The start of it had nothing to do with our people, and you can't change that. That's just how it is, man. So stop celebrating the 4th of July. Stop celebrating Christmas, right? Christmas even is a pagan day. Y'all don't take my advice. I mean, y'all don't take what I'm saying. Y'all look back and what I'm saying. Look into the history behind Christmas. Look into the history behind 4th of July. Look into the history behind St. Patrick's Day. Look into the history behind Easter. Look into the history behind Valentine's Day before you start trying to just celebrate these days because they say it's a holiday and you get time off. Stop doing that. Really look into these days because you're going to be judged by your works, right? You're going to be judged by everything you did in this body. If you were celebrating things that was not of God, you're going to get judged for that, man. Right, so with that, I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. When I say Shalom, Kwame Yashara.